Are you stuck in the same place because you're afraid to make a mistake? Imagine dealing with every setback with the calm resolve of a samurai. In this video, we'll look at Miyamoto Musashi's teachings and learn how to see failure as a way to become truly strong. Lesson 1. Embrace failure as a teacher, not a defeat. The first important thing samurai do to get over their fears is to see failure as a teacher instead of a defeat. For samurai, especially Miyamoto Musashi, failure wasn't a dead end. It was a lesson, a chance to learn more about one's weaknesses and limitations, and a call to improve oneself even more. Musashi went through a lot of hard times and challenges on his way to becoming a master swordsman and strategist. Each loss or setback taught him something important that helped him grow and led him to mastery. Focusing on failure as a teacher changes your feelings from disappointment and anger to curiosity and learning. Failure can be scary, but it can also show you growth opportunities that you might not have seen before. Instead of seeing it as something that weakens you, see it as something that makes you stronger. As Musashi said, "Today is victory over yourself of yesterday. Tomorrow is your victory over lesser men." He believed that each failure was a chance to beat one's past self, turning setbacks into steps towards self-mastery. Failure in a person's career, like not getting a promotion or missing an important goal, could be seen as an opportunity to learn and grow. Instead of seeing it as a final verdict on their skills, they could look at what went wrong, what they could have done differently, and how they could do better. This process of honest reflection is central to Musashi's philosophy. By being honest about our actions, we gain a better understanding of ourselves, which in turn makes us stronger and smarter. In order to accept failure as a teacher, we need to be humble and brave, and let go of the ego that tells us we should be perfect. The samurai knew that failure was a necessary part of the path to mastery. Musashi's willingness to learn from every duel, victory, or loss showed that he respected the process of continuous improvement. This way of thinking let him face challenges without worrying about making mistakes. Learning from failure also means being resilient. Musashi's approach reminds us that we become more resilient by getting back up and moving forward after each fall. The path to mastery is rarely smooth, and setbacks are a normal part of it. Seeing failure as a teacher changes it from something to be afraid of to something that makes you stronger and more confident. This makes you more likely to take risks and leave your comfort zone. So, accepting failure as a teacher means turning a potentially painful event into a way to learn and grow. It means realizing that failures don't make us who we are. How we react to them does. If we have this samurai mindset, we can approach every setback with curiosity, humility, and a willingness to learn, which helps us face challenges without fear, knowing that every mistake is just another step on the way to true mastery. Lesson 2. Commit fully to each action. Miyamoto Musashi's philosophy is based on the idea of total commitment to every action. This can have a big impact on how we deal with problems, even failure. Musashi thought that unwavering dedication to the task at hand, no matter what, was the way to mastery. Whether in battle or facing a personal challenge, he told his followers to give their all to every action without hesitation or distraction. When we fully commit to a task, we align our whole selves, our mind, body, and spirit, with it. Musashi's life was based on his dedication to improving his swordsmanship. He never let doubts or other things distract him. Instead, he focused on what was in front of him and gave it his full attention. This level of commitment helped him reach amazing levels of skill and insight, and it's something we can all do. We often feel scattered in today's world because we're trying to do too many things at once and lose focus on the one we need to do. This lack of commitment can make us feel overwhelmed, especially when things don't go as planned. The fear of failing is often made worse by the fear that our efforts won't produce the results we want. But Musashi teaches us that fully committing means giving up expectations and just giving ourselves to the process, no matter what happens. When you make a total commitment, you put your whole heart into every step of your journey. Whether you're starting a new project, learning a new skill, or getting over a setback, You should give it your all and not hold back. Even if the outcome is uncertain, you will know that you did everything you could. This is what Musashi means by focusing on the process and action itself instead of the outcome. Fully committing to something makes us feel better about our own abilities and stops us from doubting our ability to succeed. We focus on doing our best, and our fear of failing goes away because we know that failure is just a part of the learning process. If you give each task your full attention and know you've done your best, there is no room for regret. To be a samurai, you have to fully commit to everything you do. This creates discipline, and discipline builds strength. When you fully commit, you don't just focus on reaching your goal. You focus on becoming the kind of person who can face challenges with resolve, honesty, and a clear sense of purpose. This unwavering commitment builds resilience, and when you have resilience, fear of failure has no place in your journey. Musashi would argue that the only real failure is not fully committing yourself to the path. Lesson 3. Focus on the process, not the outcome. Being focused on the process rather than the result is one of Miyamoto Musashi's most important lessons. In a world where results are often used to measure success, it's easy to get stuck on the end goal. But Musashi's philosophy tells us that true mastery and peace come from focusing on every step of the journey, not just the end goal. Every action and step in the samurai's training was done with great care and discipline. Musashi thought that if they focused on the process, improving their technique, mindset, and focus, success would come naturally. When you focus on the steps instead of the result, you let yourself grow naturally. Musashi often said, "Do nothing that is of no use." This principle means that you should understand that every small effort, no matter how small it seems, is part of the bigger picture. We put too much pressure on ourselves when we worry about the outcome, which makes us anxious and scared, especially when things don't go as planned. Whether it's a business venture, a personal goal, or even a simple task, if we only judge ourselves by the outcome, we might not see the value in the journey. If we only focus on the outcome, we might miss important lessons, nuances, and growth opportunities that happen in the process itself. In fact, it's often when we struggle or fail that we learn the most about ourselves. When it came to the process, Musashi was very consistent. He didn't focus on a single fight or victory. Instead, he trained hard every day, getting better every time. He saw every practice session and every little bit of progress as an important part of his journey. He was focused on continuous growth, not on winning battles. This way of thinking helped him face challenges with less fear because he knew that mastering his craft would always lead to progress, even if it wasn't always clear right away. Focusing on the process, on the other hand, changes our mindset from fear of failing to joy of learning and growth. Every small step forward is a victory in and of itself. For example, if you're working on a skill or project, focusing on learning, refining, and improving your craft makes you more resilient. When you see challenges not as problems to solve, but as chances to get better, your fear of failing goes away. Detachment also comes into play here. If you don't tie your sense of self-worth to the outcome, you stay in the present. This doesn't mean you give up on your goals or stop trying to succeed. It just means you accept that the journey is just as important, if not more important, than the destination. Musashi was a master of this idea. He knew that a well-fought battle was more important than just winning it. And the same is true for life's struggles. Focusing on the process can help you find happiness and fulfillment in every action. It relieves stress and keeps you in the present, no matter what challenges you face. This way, you can see every failure as a lesson and every success as just another step on the path. Musashi's wise words remind us that how we go about our journey is more important than where we end up. By committing to the process, we build a mindset of resilience, patience, and perseverance, which gives us the strength to face any challenge without fear. As you move forward, remember to focus on the journey. Trust that as long as you are committed to the process, you will continue to grow, learn, and succeed in ways you may not even realize yet. Lesson 4. Cultivate patience and discipline. Samurai didn't just value patience and discipline as virtues. They made them a part of their way of life. Musashi knew that true mastery required consistent, disciplined effort over time. Facing failure without fear means developing a mindset that values patience and knows that success doesn't come right away. Being patient lets you see that every step of the way is necessary, even when things go wrong or progress seems slow. Being disciplined keeps you on track and moves you forward even when things get hard. If you work on being patient and disciplined, you can face failure with a calm heart, knowing that every setback is just a part of the learning process. His life shows how important disciplined effort is. Even after he was famous, he spent countless hours improving his skills. His dedication to his craft is a reminder that there are no easy ways to be successful. Every day, every effort helps you grow. When you are patient and disciplined, fear loses its power because you know you have the strength to get through any challenge. Lesson 5. Train your mind to accept uncertainty. They were taught that uncertainty was a normal part of life. Musashi thought that real courage meant facing the unknown without fear. To face failure without fear, it's important to develop a mindset that accepts uncertainty and embraces the fact that life is full of moments that you can't plan for. When you accept that you can't control everything, you let go of rigid expectations and become more flexible. Realizing that you can't control everything frees you from the need to have everything figured out. This makes room for growth and resilience because you can handle challenges with more flexibility instead of fear. The teachings of Musashi stress that a strong mind can face the unknown with calm and clarity. Training your mind to accept uncertainty gives you inner peace. The thought of failing doesn't bother you because you know you have the strength to handle it. Lesson 6. Learn to let go of ego. It's easy to be afraid of failing because we don't want to look stupid or hurt our self-image. But Musashi knew that true strength comes from humility and that ego only makes it harder to make good decisions. To get over your fear of failing, you need to let go of your ego and go into every experience with an open heart. Letting go of your ego lets you see each failure without judging yourself. Instead of seeing setbacks as a sign of how good you are, you see them as steps on your journey. Musashi's philosophy tells us that being humble and realizing that no one is perfect is wise. When you let go of your ego, you look at every experience as a chance to learn, without worrying about how other people might see you. When you let go of your ego, you can face failure with courage and strength. You stop looking for approval and start looking for growth. This gives you the strength to face any challenge without fear, because you know that your worth isn't based on success or failure, but on your commitment to the road. Lesson 7. Prepare for challenges with a calm mind. The samurai saw mental calmness as a powerful weapon. Musashi taught that having a steady mind is important for meeting any challenge because it lets you act clearly and precisely. When we face challenges with a calm mind, we lessen the effect of fear and make better choices. Mindfulness, meditation, and reflection are all good ways to train your mind to be calm. Musashi thought mental discipline was just as important as physical skill, so he regularly practiced clearing his mind. If you can train your mind to stay calm, even when things go wrong, you'll be ready to fail without fear. When you have a calm mind, you can look at setbacks without getting upset. This mental clarity lets you see the situation for what it is, a temporary setback, not the end of the world. Musashi's teachings remind us that true strength lies in a mind that is not affected by outside events. By preparing for challenges with a calm mind, you build resilience, which lets you handle failure with grace and poise. These lessons from Miyamoto Musashi teach us how to face failure without fear. We can adopt the samurai mindset by seeing failure as a teacher, committing fully to each action, focusing on the process, developing patience and discipline, accepting uncertainty, letting go of ego, and getting ready for challenges with a calm mind. These lessons remind us that facing failure bravely and learning and growing from it is what makes us strong.